The Petrified Pig. The pig eyed me doubtfully. He had been bound hand and foot and bundled unceremoniously into the back of our estate car. I have to confess I shared his hesitancy, but I had had little choice. Earlier that Sunday morning, I had picked up the preacher, his wife and little boy in town. Hardtop road for a few kilometres, then on to the red dusty track that led to Gatifla, a tiny Kuya village. Often we would stay in Dema, but that day we were on our way to encourage the handful of Christians in Gatifla. They had few visits from outside speakers. I drove slowly through the potholes, but had to accelerate over the rutted corrugation. A risky business. Too fast, and you were off the road. Too slow, and the jolting broke your back. Over high rocky outcrops, slewing through sand, we finally broke through the bush into a neatly laid out village. A few final bumps, and we stopped. The service was already underway inside a house. We were offered seats at the front, facing the little congregation, where they could have a good look at us. This was not a culture for shy retiring types. 12 years on, it was all so familiar to me now. As I entered into the praise and took my turn to lead in song and in prayer, I reflected on how the Spirit had been at work among this previously resistant people. 12 years ago, this small sitting room could have held all the known Kuya Christians with room to spare. Now, it was the smallest Kuya congregation of any. God had not forgotten them after all. As one young woman sang out a line and we all echoed it back to her, I felt the tears come. In this part of Ivory Coast, the locals say that men's emotions are in the soles of their feet, that they take a long time to reach our eyes. But something in her voice, the way she threw her whole being into the words of worship, and the accompanying mouth organ, just slightly out of tune, that's what set me off. I knew then which choir I would head for in heaven. It would have to be the Kuya one. Ah yes, I was telling you about the pig. Well, it belonged to Henriette's granny, a nice little old lady who had been at church too, and she was very kindly sending it with me into the town mission for her daughter's family. Henriette's mother, that is. Henriette herself is most persuasive and had caught me in a moment of weakness. I had just been treated to a bowl of rice and catfish after the service and was feeling magnanimous. So off they went to fetch the pig, plus a chicken and some freshly dug yams. The pig and I gave each other one last lingering look, and off we set. We took away much more than we went with. We went in order to encourage, we returned laden with blessings. And 2 extra passengers, as it was such a waste to have 2 empty car seats. It was not a very long journey, but if you were bound hand and foot and lumped into a car boot when you'd never been in a vehicle before in your life, you probably would have done what our pig did. Not in protest, you understand, but in abject horror at what was happening to you. Later, as I cleared up the aftermath, I reflected on the roller coaster highs and lows of this life we had chosen. Celestial choir 1 minute, Petrified Pig the next. But at least we had fulfilled our mission on that Sunday morning. We had gone, we had returned, and we had not got stuck in a rut. There were days when a rut seemed the most attractive place in the world to be stuck in. But that Sunday morning, in spite of the incontinent pig, it struck me afresh that I was very, very happy.